Chapter 1. The Madman on the Beach. When I saw Raphael for the first time, I was 12 years old. My family lived in a big town, far away from the sea. But my Uncle Miguel and his family lived in a little village on the coast. He had a cafe and a small farm there, and sometimes my family visited him. There, in that village, I met poor, mad Raphael. I didn't know then who he was. I didn't know why he was mad. I knew nothing of his strange and terrible story. Now, 14 years later, I know exactly what happened. But Raphael is dead. Why should I tell people his terrible secret? Only I know what happened to Raphael. Only I know what happened to the young and beautiful Anita, and to the soldier. Only I. The people in the village told me what they knew. Their stories were all true, every word. My uncle, his wife, Rodrigo the shopkeeper, nobody lied to me. Nobody. Not even poor Clara, Raphael's mother. And she was already dead when I went back to the village. Their stories were all true. But they didn't know what really happened. The first time I saw Raphael, I was walking along the beach with my younger brother Pablo. Our parents were talking with my uncle and his family. We boys went along the beach to look around. At the end of the beach, there were high black rocks, where the mountains behind the village came down into the sea. Near them was an old wooden boathouse. It had no doors. The roof was broken at one end and open to the sky. Inside there was an old wooden fishing boat. My brother and I looked inside. The sand was deep and soft on the floor. Suddenly, in a corner behind the boat, something moved in the shadows. It was a dirty young man with long hair and a beard. He stood up and looked at us. His eyes were open, but empty. He looked at us, but he didn't see us. He was very thin. He put one hand to his neck. I saw something shining under the dark beard. There was something small and bright on a thin fishing line round his neck. He pulled it out to show us. It was a small gold ring in the shape of a fish. Suddenly he spoke. His voice was clear, but thin and high. He spoke words, but they didn't mean anything. "She gave me the golden fish," he said. "She gave it back to me." Then he laughed. And when he laughed, my brother and I were very afraid. He laughed and laughed, but his eyes were big and sad. We ran out of the boathouse. The thin young man came out behind us. He stood in the sunshine and laughed. "She gave me the ring," he shouted. "I still have it." Some little boys from the village came running. Some of them threw stones at the thin, dirty man. "Crazy Raphael!" they shouted. "Crazy Raphael!" He stopped laughing and screamed at them. Then he went back inside the boathouse. The children laughed and ran away. We went back to my uncle's house. "Who is that crazy man on the beach?" we asked. The children called him Raphael. "He's only a poor, mad young man," said my uncle. "He isn't dangerous. He went mad about a year ago. We don't know why. Nobody can help him, I'm afraid. His mother lives in the house at the end of the village. She brings him food every day. All the people in the village help her when they can." Soon the adults began to talk about other things. But I never forgot poor, mad Raphael. Every time I thought about the village, I remembered the poor, mad man in the boathouse on the beach. Sometimes I saw him in my dreams. He looked at me with his big, empty, mad eyes. He called to me. He had the gold ring round his neck, and he held it out to me. He called for me to help him. My family went back to the town. After I left school, I went to university in the capital. I studied to be a doctor. I spent 2 years in the USA. Finally, I came back to my hometown, and I found work in a big new hospital there. In all those years, I never went back to the village. But then one of my uncle's sons got married, and all my family went there for a few days. There were many changes in the village. 12 years of change. There were new stone houses. There were new, brightly painted fishing boats along the beach, a lot of them with engines. My uncle had a big, clean, new cafe with tables and chairs, and a television in the corner. It was all very different from the village that I saw as a boy. I went down to the beach on my first afternoon in the village. I wanted to see again the place where I first saw Raphael. I couldn't believe it. The old boathouse and the boat were still there. The boat was in pieces now, but the boathouse was bigger and stronger. There was some new wood on the walls and a new roof on it. I walked along the beach and felt the soft sand under my town shoes. There was a man sitting near the old boathouse. He was looking at the sea. He had long hair and long, thin legs. I came closer, and he suddenly looked round at me. It was Raphael. I saw again those same wide, crazy, sad eyes, the eyes from my dreams. He was 12 years older. His hair and beard were beginning to go grey, but they weren't as long and dirty as before. His face was very thin, and he looked ill. His clothes were old, but clean. "How are you, Raphael?" I called, smiling. He put his head on one side and looked at me. His mouth opened and he smiled. A thin, brown hand moved up to his neck. "She gave me the golden fish," he said. His voice was flat and empty. He coughed suddenly, a deep, dry cough. Then he looked with sad yellow eyes at the bright, empty sea. I went back across the soft white sand to my uncle's house. I had an idea in my head. I was a doctor now. Perhaps I could find out what was the matter with this poor man. I could give him the best help that modern medicine could give him. I told my uncle what I wanted to do. There are special hospitals now in the capital for people like Raphael. I can take him there. If I can make him well, I will. If not, he can stay in a hospital there. He will have a bed, good food, nurses all the time, It's not good for him to sleep on the beach. He looks ill. I asked him to tell me about Raphael. He told me everything that he knew. It was a long and strange story. I wrote it all in a notebook. I wanted to help the poor madman to get well. For this, I had to know everything about him.